Migraine hits hard, so you hit back with Ubrelvy. You level up. You won't take a timeout. One dose of Ubrelvy works fast. It can quickly stop migraine in its tracks within 2 hours without worrying if it's too late or where you are.
Unlike older medicines, Ubrelvy is a pill that directly blocks a protein believed to be a cause of migraine. Do not take with strong CYP3A4 inhibitors. Most common side effects were nausea and tiredness.
Migraine pain relief starts with you. Learn how AbbVie could help you save. Ask about Ubrelvy, the anytime, anywhere migraine medicine.
Hello, nerds. Welcome to GeekBeast, part of the Geekish Network. This is your daily rundown of geek news done by geeks like you. If you're new to our show, we cover the geek news beat and we share our opinions with you. I'm your host, Chuck, and I got two co-hosts with me. Say what's up to the people, Randy.
What's up, GeekBeast?
Say what's up to the people, Rakai.
Hello, Bobbit.
Okay. I love when you do that.
I do too.
We're gonna go into the news right now. It's Monday and it's trailer day. It seems to be like today. Did y'all see the Blue Beetle bust out a Buster sword in the first trailer? Did y'all see that? Y'all see him whip out his sword? Straight anime style.
I thought it was dope.
And the scarab said, "Very nice. That'll do."
Yeah.
This movie looks super fun. I'm looking forward to it.
There's a couple of things we talked about it in Crosstalk a little bit. Things that I thought it was going to be about the Blue Beetle, but this thing's like a very family oriented movie.
Yeah,
it's about family. They're like, hey, we're going to lean in all the great things that Fast and Furious gave us. We're going to lean all the way in on that.
I thought we had stopped that, right? We went a period where we didn't talk about it.
It's his favorite franchise of all time.
Yeah, but he had to just bring it back up. But this is about the Blue Beetle. We're going to talk about the Blue Beetle.
Yeah, the Blue Beetle, which is like Fast and Furious. We seen splitting buses in half.
Yeah, man.
You see Beetles falling out the sky, having wings and shit.
It's a symbiote.
We got George Lopez in it.
The Beetle is a symbiote, right? He's a
it's a symbiote.
Yeah, a symbiote. So yeah, I expect those things.
It's cool because like when I was watching the trailer, and I saw the family, and I didn't recognize anybody except for the main star, which I'm very happy for Jolo Maridueña, the star of Cobra Kai. I think he's an outstanding young Latino actor. I didn't know it was George Lopez until he started talking. Like I heard his voice, but it is. I mean, he was his facial hair and everything. Like I had no idea it was him. So yeah, I'm excited for this movie. It does look fun, and you guys know me. I'm a Marvel head. I love DC animated. But this, I've heard wonderful things about the Flash. I haven't heard anybody's reaction about this yet, but at least from the trailer, it looks really good.
Yep.
It looks really cool. Yeah.
Does the Blue Beetle then play over into the DCEU, or is this kind of the last film from the old regime?
I think this is the last film from the old regime.
It was always, Blue Beetle was, kind of part of Young Justice.
Teen Titans, Young Justice, than he is Justice League, right? But I don't know.
Matter of fact, this may run over actually. This has a different tone than all the DCEU that we once
And not
had.
this is more in line with the kind of tone that James Gunn would make for a movie.
It
At
is.
least the trailer,
Right.
the trailer says that. And then really the the brass tacks is going to be the bottom line. You know, because I think James Gunn might even let Shazam 2 run if it did something in box office, but since it completely blew up like Hiroshima,
Nobody. Yeah, that was a
mm.
close.
Yeah,
You knew that
unfortunate.
going
So
into.
Then for Zachary Levi to completely implode, go straight Donald Trump on social media. If somebody don't get to his house and take away his Twitter account, Zach Levi is blaming
I didn't know
everybody.
that happened.
He
I didn't
started
know that
blaming
happened.
everybody. He blamed The Rock. He blamed the director. He blamed the marketing campaign. Yeah, he went real
He had a
nuclear.
sore knee. He had he had a sore throat and just,
He was
I
like,
did not
yeah,
know that.
yeah. It's like the
Zach,
marketing
Zach
campaign was
Levi,
bad.
man. Yeah, he
Now,
just
there was some truth. So for Black Adam, The Rock did refuse to do post-credit scenes for Shazam 2 or in The Rock or in Black Adam because he just didn't see himself being the antagonist for Shazam. He said,
the
he
tone
saw
of the
himself
two
as being
movies, the
Superman.
tone of the two movies was different though.
It was.
I mean, and that's like really like if you get some and I don't know, I can't think of what.
I
Okay, so like
mean,
say take Thor: Love and Thunder, which is probably the most kiddie movie of all the ones that Marvel did, and say, you know what we're gonna do is we're gonna get Deadpool to make his entrance into Marvel Universe at the end of that. That doesn't even make any sense.
But I
but
get
they
And
that.
I,
would have done did that
and
in
I
the
would
other
say
love.
Black Adam
All of them
is
are comic.
he is a villain of Shazam, but it just two completely different tones of movie. Like
But you can see him popping up in Shazam because he's a kid, right? So the first movie is him getting to know himself. So this could be years later, and at the end of the movie, instead of showing Henry Cavill as Superman popping up,
Right.
he shows Zach Levi flying in and saying the same exact lines in the movie.
And it could have been
here's,
something.
here's the
It
thing
just,
though. Here's the thing though, because they wanted The Rock to be at the end of Shazam too. No, they wanted The Rock to do a cameo in the first Shazam movie. They wanted
Yes.
him to come in like post credit scenes at the end of the first Shazam movie, and The Rock said, "Nah." Mm-mm.
because
No.
The Rock doesn't see himself doing that because it's a kid. And The Rock doesn't
Exactly.
get
Levi.
comic. And
Yeah.
right, and The Rock doesn't get into comic book here because his equivalent should be Superman. And it speaks to some of the
Oh.
dysfunction at DC. It's just like they were just getting names out there and throwing them in a movie and hoping this stuff land. There was no cohesion.
No, but because you know what I'm saying, if you go away from the comics, the last successful comedy that showed something about Shazam really was the animated movie was Superman and Shazam versus Black Adam.
Yeah, but Shazam is
Yes.
primary to but there's Shazam and Black Adam are fighting throughout that movie.
Yeah, they are.
Throughout that
Yeah,
movie.
but one of the reasons why it's really Black Adam versus Superman is because
Actually,
Superman saying drawbacks is he doesn't do magic.
Right.
Magic with him, and then he easily tricks Billy Batson into saying Shazam and turning back into a kid, and he's done.
Well, there's been so Shazam and Superman have fought in the Justice League show that came on in the early 2000s. They
Yeah.
fought. And there's one instance where he tries to stop him and Superman beats his ass. It's a ploy by Lex Luthor to set up. But I think people would have cared more if it was Shazam and Black Adam as opposed to just Shazam, Black Adam trying to rival Superman. Because
I mean, but I mean, even the way they've always portrayed Shazam, they always portrayed him as being this child, this young teenager in a superhero's body.
Absolutely. That's who he is.
Yeah.
I don't think, that's who he is.
Yeah.
But his still rival is Black Adam.
Black Adam's his rival still. There's times where he beats Black Adam. He beats the shit out of Black Adam.
Yeah. And I just think, The Rock kind of throwing it around because, he's The Rock. It's like he didn't I thought that was right. I thought that's one of the problems with
but both movies suck, so it's something that we'll never have to talk about again anyway.
Yeah. Yeah. Let's move on. Going to another trailer that pops up. Secret Invasion pops up featuring Nick Fury, aka Samuel Jackson, being the non-cussing Samuel Jackson that we know of.
I
And
don't
in
like it
Secret
already.
Invasion, and the new trailer hit it, and it's like Nick Fury in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, and he's back and ready to fight a faction of Skrulls who have invaded the Earth. The comic arc is the same name, features the Skrulls as the baddies, but up until now, the alien race has been pretty all right in MCU. That issue is, are they going to be the baddies in this, or is it just a misunderstanding? We're not
No,
really
it's not a
sure about.
misunderstanding. No, they're the baddies in this. So what?
Yeah,
So
I mean
from
they're the baddies, but when it concludes, it finds out the reason why they were the baddies was not for nefarious reasons, probably for good reasons. Because humans fucking
so,
suck.
from what I understand of the plot, it's not really about the humans. It's Nick Fury that sucks.
Yes.
Remember, so we saw that Nick Fury. So all this, the scrolls and all that stuff, was introduced with the Kree in the Captain Marvel movie.
Mm-hmm.
In that movie, a young Nick Fury said, because really in the comic books, the Skrull were always the bad guys.
Bad guys. Always.
Always bad.
Yes.
Like Kree were considered good. Skrulls were always the bad ones. So they
Always
kind of
bad.
flipped it. They kind of flipped it this time. And Nick Fury saved a group of Skrull, Talos and his family, and all the rest of the Skrulls who came to Earth. Nick Fury said, listen, I'm gonna use y'all as spies because y'all got this shape changer ability. Y'all can get in anywhere. If y'all work for me, I'm gonna make a home for you on the Earth.
Yep.
What was that? The 80s? We talking about 40 years later, and Nick ain't done shit. He was in space making the sword base after the shield base blew up. He ain't even been on Earth, and he showed up for what's your boy, Spider-Man and shit, but that wasn't even him. Like, so the Skrulls are like, we not waiting anymore. We tired of being humans. We want to be us, and that's so they start replacing world leaders with their people, and that's Secret Invasion. I think what I like about this, it's weird because I told y'all earlier they go all Andor on this. There's supposed to be no superheroes in a Marvel universe
And
proper.
that's
Like,
interesting.
it's like a spy thriller. Like, I don't know if it's gonna go like Mission Impossible, but it's straight spycraft. No superheroes in this.
We just kind of saw that with Hawkeye. Hawkeye, there was no real other superheroes. We saw Hawkeye.
No superpower superheroes.
Well, I mean, no, because you had Echo, you had Kingpin. I mean, who got powers?
Yeah, you see them to the
I mean,
end.
not. I mean, they
But
didn't fly in. But
What superpower does
Daredevil.
Kingpin have?
Who?
What power does Kingpin have?
Kingpin's all he's all.
I know he's
hopped up on-
strong, but I didn't think it was a superpower.
Yeah, he's like invulnerable.
Like,
type.
cause he's muscle. Like, he's 500 pounds of muscle, right? I didn't think that was an inherent superpower.
I don't know. They
Well,
got. I don't know. He didn't have some.
It's not statistically, it's not superpower as we know it, but it's inhuman.
Yeah, it's always implied that he's like, he's got some sort of powers, or he's some sort of mutant, or because his strength is his strength is not it's not normal. It's always
it's not normal, but
it's implied. I think it's never really outright said it, but it's implied.
Yeah, that's why he's the Kingpin. Like he can get shot and it won't hurt him. It's like,
it's either it's more inhuman or just kind of like some variation, because we have that now. You thought that Captain Rogers was special, but no, a lot of people have some sort of variation of the super soldier serum. So
yeah, so it's really interesting. So Don Cheetah is still in this. He's James Rose in Secret Invasion, and it's 6 episodes. So I was like, this is 6 episodes. This is to drop off 6 at the same time. There's no reason for them to dry this out 6 weeks.
When is this? Does it say when it premieres?
it's sometime
premieres.
Yes, June 21st.
June 21st.
June. Okay, I thought it was end of this month.
June 21st. I'm thinking June 21st, they should drop all 6 episodes.
I think they should.
Hopefully Bob Iger is saying, hey, we got to start doing what Netflix is doing. This week-to-week stuff is not working for us. Because it's not. This is tough. Like, I'm listening, like, for example, Pod Squadron talk about Star Wars, and I tried not to come in early. I come at the very end, so I don't hear all the spoilers for Mandalorian, but that's tough. I can't do this week-to-week thing. I'm not built for this.
The internet now, you know, like when we used to have regular TV and you had to wait a week to find out who killed JR or whatever, you know what I'm saying? Like,
the next day,
had a way to spoil it.
Hey, I hate week-to-week television. I can't do it. I've got to wait at least 3 weeks, at least, right, before I watch anything. I just can't do for something that I'm interested in watching. If I don't want to watch it, then it's like, all right, I'm glad I already got it.
Speaking of television, Harry Potter is reportedly coming to HBO as a series. Let me dig deep into this. The series would adapt each of the series novels into a season of television. HBO is closing in on this deal to reboot J.K. Rowling's 7-book series on new TV shows. I don't want this.
I don't either.
I don't want this. I think the movies did a great job. I have the books. I don't. It's like you're throwing up something for the 3rd time, and I don't want to. I don't want that.
I don't know what I really need to add to the movies. I mean, granted, the books are larger, right? I've read the books. I've read all the books, and I know there's more in those books than are in the movies. But I thought the movies were so well executed. I don't need a complete reboot of that universe.
In a TV universe.
No.
And then it makes me fearful they're going to do this to Lord of the Rings. Amazon's going to do this to Lord of the Rings.
They already are.
Hopefully they don't reboot. Hopefully they don't reboot the series. Hopefully they don't.
Well, hell,
hopefully they don't.
Well, hell, you start.
No, I mean they're in works right now to reboot the original. You know, like Fellowship of the Ring, Two Towers, Return of the King, and make those books a series instead of a 3-hour director's cut.
The Funk said week-to-week television keeps the water cooler talk going. Well, I don't go to water coolers anymore. I'm all at home. I don't need the water cooler
in your kitchen at your refrigerator.
Yeah. I'd rather understand people talk with the week, but I had enough water cooler talk during Lost and Heroes and Fringe. I could name a bunch of shows that did a lot of water cooler talk. And Game of Thrones, and at the end of the shows, I was totally dissatisfied.
Here's my take on it. I loved introducing and watching the Harry Potter movies, not only as a fan of myself, and I read like 2 of the books. I didn't read all of them. But I loved those movies, and I love the spirit of those movies, and I love watching them with my kids. My youngest is 6. So, and as the Hogwarts Legacy game came out, I realized he has no idea. He's never seen any of the Harry Potter movies. So I introduced him to the Sorcerer's Stone, and he loved the movie. And we haven't went through all the movies because, again, he's 6. He's only 7. Like, you know, he can't be doing Deathly Hallows. Like, it ain't, you know. So,
no.
But he's seen the Sorcerer's Stone, loved it. We'll probably watch The Chamber of Secrets, you know, maybe this summer or something like that. So for that, to keep the original movies, I know that they missed some of the stuff in the books and small nuances, but the movies were fantastically done. They were fantastically acted, casted like, and, you know, and to have the original Dumbledore gone, he was replaced. Snape is gone. I don't want it. I don't want anybody. Alan Rickman is that guy.
Yeah, let it go. Let it go.
Well, I just think even though Fantastic Beasts didn't hit, with what they've done with Hogwarts Legacy, there is so much more richness and stories that can be told in this world. They don't have to be told during this same time frame. I mean, it's just like, and I said it earlier, it's just like, why do we keep talking about the Skywalker family? Is there no other families in all of Star Wars that we could talk about? They're one family, and they
Trailer Park family done wreaked enough havoc on the
whole
universe.
universe.
At the end of the day, the Palpatines won.
Yeah,
Killing family won. Posing as a Skywalker.
Yeah.
I don't want to be a Palpatine. I'm gonna be a Skywalker. Well, tell your blood that. You know what I'm saying? Your DNA says something else. You can be,
Yes.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
But nah,
So it's really interesting that we have Harry Potter roots. And I don't think J.K. Rowling even cares to go back into that world, really. Like she doesn't care to write any more books, because she did, she would have wrote some more books.
Well, she wrote the play. She wrote the play about 5 years ago.
That's it.
Even though she signs off and she'll get paid, she don't have very much control over this world anymore, though, does she?
I think the book she does. I don't know about the movies. She can still write the book.
She's still consulting on the movies, but she's not the head consultant on the movies. The TV show, she may be into this, but my thing is this: she hasn't wrote any new material in the wizardry world of Harry Potter in a long time.
It's been a while.
Was she consulted at all for Hogwarts Legacy? I don't think she was.
No. She's consulting on it. She's consulting on everything that involves the world, but she doesn't come in and do the nitty gritty. She comes in and gives approvals and gives feedback notes.
Yeah, I heard that they were going to do I don't think it was a series. I thought they were going to do a movie of The Cursed Child, because it was such a fantastic play.
The play did really well, and the play's good. I read it.
Just post the movies that we all love.
Right.
So that's something different that I could take that.
But I mean, again, she hasn't talked about any other characters in this world, really. Has not dived into this world. I mean, she has a full world over here. Even Tolkien went into different characters.
Didn't she make a announcement not that long ago that she was gonna, drop something new that kind of was in the world but not around these characters?
I know she's written like 3 or 4 novels outside of the world, outside of Harry Potter, that didn't do well.
Well, the only ones that I remember is the Bard the Beatles, and it was more of like children's tale. And then she did The Cursed Child. That's the sequel to the Harry Potter series, but it primarily deals with the children. Their children. Harry and them are in it, but it's primarily taken from the point of the children.
Yep. I wonder how much control she had on that.
Because James is actually a Slytherin. Well, I guess I don't know. You should have watched it by now. His son is a Slytherin. One of them are a Slytherin. That's where they go for their house. And one,
yeah.
I mean, which makes sense, though. I mean, Harry.
He's best friends with a Malfoy.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know a whole lot about the Cursed Child, but I knew a few little things. I didn't know he was a Slytherin, though. But I mean, it makes sense. The boy, Harry was a Horcrux, so he was technically Slytherin the whole time.
And so the first one picks up right after they drop him off at Hogwarts at the end of the Harry Potter books, and then he puts on the hat and it takes him to Slytherin, and he becomes best friends with a Malfoy.
And Harry willed being a Gryffindor. He said, "I'm a Gryffindor."
Right.
Right. And the hat gave
shows
the hat.
The hat is like, okay.
His son.
Okay.
And he's got another older son who is a Gryffindor, and Hermione and Ron's kids are Gryffindors, but they don't really mess with James, who's the Slytherin, and kind of shy and outcasty kind of.
And then the Cursed Child, the girl, what is she at Hogwarts too?
Yeah, she's at Hogwarts.
She's Slytherin?
No, she's Gryffindor.
Really?
Yep, she's a Gryffindor.
The Cursed Child?
They're all Gryffindor, but his youngest son, who's a Slytherin.
You know what I'm talking about? Who the Cursed Child is, right?
Huh?
You know what I'm talking about? Who the Cursed Child is, right?
I thought you were talking about Harry's.
No, the Cursed Child is
Oh well, I don't want to give too much away, but it's
and that's why I wasn't trying to give it away. So
let's not give it away for those that haven't had the Cursed Child or have seen it.
So is she at Gryffindor? I mean, is she at Hogwarts?
She's at. I'm trying to remember. She was, but I'm not gonna say who she is.
Okay, all right. We can talk about that offline.
Okay. Endeavor has Endeavor, who owns UFC. talking about buying WWE and then merging them.
They did.
Making Victor the executive
done.
chairman. Yeah, done.
I thought it was done.
Yeah. Yeah. So this is crazy. They're like, Dana White, we had to get rid of him. But we're gonna
Dana White's still
bring
there.
They didn't get rid of anybody.
But he's not like they put him in the shadows after he smacked his wife.
He's still running the CEO in the press release. Yeah. It's just it's bought by Endeavor, which is Ari Emanuel's talent agency. So, but they're still running. Like Vince McMahon is still going to run WWE, and Dana White is still running UFC.
Mm-hmm. But they challenge.
What? No. Vince McMahon is not running WWE. He's the chairman. He's the executive chairman or whatever, or something like that. Where Ari Emanuel is the CEO. Yeah. This is the chairman or whatever. And then Nick Khan is the president of WWE.
Okay.
And White is president of UFC.
But Vince McMahon still does have a role right at WWE, because I thought
he's the guy right under.
Yeah. He did have no role when his daughter came and took over for a while.
And then Vince came back.
He let all that court case. He let all that allegation stuff because that was affecting the stock price.
It was.
He had to bounce because he put the whole deal on hold. He'd been trying to do this for a little minute.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. The interesting thing about that is that Ari Emanuel just bought the UFC in 2016.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Bought it, you know what I'm saying? Because I remember, that's when Dana White, really cashed up on, being with them for a long time. Like, him being around since the beginning and with his boys, the Fertitta boys or whatever, he took him to damn near $500 million, in worth. So now they bought the company for $4 billion, and now 7 years later, it's worth $12 billion.
12 billion.
And the whole deal is what, 21 billion, something like that?
Because the WWE is worth about $9 billion.
Yeah,
$9 billion.
Yeah.
And the thing is, the UFC, they own that new what's it, the power slap, where you slap the shit out of people. They own that shit.
I didn't know that.
Slap.
Yeah, Dana White. Yeah, they pushed that. Yeah, they own power slap too.
Yeah, which is wild. It's the wildest thing ever. I said, I went for them to bring the ass slap competition. It's coming. I mean, they show it on YouTube. I'm like, there's an ass slapping competition. This is wild out here. This is what we turned in. I said, ass slapping be Olympic sport. It's gonna be after fencing. After fencing, we got ass slapping.
No, I stopped. I watched it just because it was. I watched a couple of them because it was just intriguing to me that, you know what I'm saying, you let people slap the dog shit out of you, and it's like you take turns. It's like an old Shaw Brothers kung fu movie where you take turns slapping each other. But when I saw that one dude that got slapped into the Special Olympics, his whole goddamn face broke. I said, you know what, I'm out.
What's the point value there? Like, I don't know. How do you score? How do you win? How do you lose?
They got after they get slapped, they got like 30 seconds to recover, and some of them can't recover.
I bet you can.
Yeah.
And then you get like 3 slaps a piece or whatever, but they're slapping people to sleep.
Yeah,
they do. Like you see that
one dude's whole face broke. His face broke.
All this shattered. Yeah, all this broke.
Yeah, man.
It gives a whole different dimension to I'm gonna put hands on you. No.
You one of the recent women where the woman because then they have to make them hold the little squeezy bar behind their back so that way they can't flinch. You can't flinch anymore. They can't. And they smacked her and she fell forward. And then she got up and she fell over again.
I bet
she was done.
I saw that when she did a whole front flip.
Why?
She's like, I'm good, and then did a whole front flip.
How much do they get paid? How much do they get paid?
Not enough. Not enough. Not enough. Not enough. Not enough.
I was just curious, like, what's the, who's the superstar and like, what's the scale, right? What's the bottom line entry and who's the superstar? I was just curious.
If they like 20 grand
a year or like per match?
I think I don't know. I just threw a number out there.
I know I'm hearing you, but I'm like, if it's 20, nah, I'm not letting nobody just smack me.
I'm not gonna let anybody slap me, but if it's per match,
I'm
per
not
match, because it's set up with the Sweet 16. So you're not just doing one person; you're going up.
Yeah, no, I get
going up.
Yeah, because it's like tournament style to whoever's king of the heart. But the real kicker is they're probably getting paid pretty well because it does have media rights. So it's on I've seen it on ESPN. So it's on TV. But not only that, sports gambling changes everything.
It does.
You know what I'm saying?
It does.
So, if they got somebody who's got the favorites or whatever, like it changes everything. So I don't know. I'm sure them people getting paid pretty well, but after that one dude got smacked into a whole different person,
he said a whole different person.
If you seen his face after he got smacked, you would be like, yeah, that it's not enough. Not
some other off of the merger of this, we're gonna talk about something good. NASA first trip back to the moon has a crew, you guys. Notably.
So NASA's going back to the moon?
Yep, they said they're going back to the moon. Notably, this is the first lunar mission to include a woman, a Black man, and a Canadian. The crew is mission specialist Christina Koch, mission specialist Jeremy Hasten, pilot Victor Glover, and Commander Reed Wiseman. And it is set to go back in 2024.
Okay.
The Artemis 2.
Okay.
So, I guess staying away from conspiracy theorists. So they're either going back or going for the first time, whatever it is that you believe.
Whatever it is.
I thought Chuck was going to say that, but I get it.
Thank you for saying that.
Yeah. Is like, I'm bored. He's rolling around in the grave.
Hey, don't get mad at me, man.
I think they huh?
I said, don't get mad at me. I know if we're gonna either see this happen for the first time or not.
I think they're starting to set up their international their space base. They got all the information. They know about the asteroids, and they know because I saw some report today talking about there was some chatter, some transmissions coming from some alien planet or something. Yeah, they said no, they're getting out of here. It's going to be 2012 or one of them disaster movies, Armageddon. They loading up Bruce Willis.
Pentagon said they released more alien papers, so I haven't read through them yet. So I'm really curious what they have to say. And then here's the new spacesuit that the astronauts will wear when they return to the moon. We have a new as well. NASA has revealed a new spacesuit that the astronauts will wear to explore the moon under Artemis program created by Axiom Space. The new suit is designed to improve mobility for astronauts working on the lunar surface. NASA astronauts have used the same basic spacesuits designed since the space shuttle days, with the technology remaining essentially unchanged for 40 years.
They're getting an upgrade. So, all right.
During the reveal,
we can't get a better looking suit than that.
Oh Lord!
I mean, there's a first time for everything.
Yeah, I think it looks dope.
I mean, it just looks like they had a designer do it. It was like got a tuxedo front on it. That's nice.
All I know is there's a lot of people that don't want shoes on it too much.
I feel like this is gonna be the designing Kanye's new fashion show. That's just.
Plus, I guess I'm saying. Really, if you think about it, too, this is a new way to suck whatever money we don't have left out of the American public. Because aren't we supposed to have like Space Force?
We do have Space Force.
Space Force is a public.
You can't have Space Force if nobody go to space. So.
And SpaceX, we got SpaceX, right? That's Elon's company, right?
That's just him going.
That's Blue Origin.
He's been a Tesla base in space.
Yeah. And we only spent the NASA budget is very small compared to the overall budget.
What's that?
For America? Like the NASA budget is like less than 2% of the entire budget. It's really small.
The military budget.
Percent of the world money?
Yeah, of the United States budget, right? The monetary
Like,
budget. It's very small. Like people think we spend a lot of money in NASA, and we really don't.
No, we don't.
No, they launder the money other places.
And speaking of the moon, Samsung got caught faking Zoom photos of the moon. For years, Samsung Space Zoom capable phones had been known for their ability to take incredibly detailed photos of the moon, but a recent Reddit post showed in stark terms just how much computational processing the company is doing, and given the evidence supplied, it feels like it should go ahead and say if Samsung's pictures of the moons are fake.
There we go. There we go.
AI, baby. Hey, I see you took the moon from here to here to here. I'm going to apply this filter on the moon. Bam. Just like an Instagram model. I got a filter on it. I just put a filter on it.
Sally online looking for somebody who's real.
Hey, AI doing it. AI it duplicated Jay-Z's voice in the verse. It had him spitting bars.
Hey, I saw a post where they had AI. It was almost all Kanye. If he did other people's songs,
yes.
Kind of
Jay-Z one. Got a Jay-Z one too.
That's like what I said. Yeah, he just did a Jay-Z. Yeah, it took his voice. Yeah, and it was spitting bars. And now it's pictures of the moon. It's got filters on the moon.
Yeah, basically, I'm gonna change the moon up.
Crazy world that we live in.
Hey,
the moon's a bad beat.
Samsung takes amazing night view pictures of the moon. And they're like, oh, we took a picture of the moon and put a filter on that shit.
Moon out here stunting, getting an upgrade.
Put some long lashes on them.
Right.
Okay. And we always talk about the Power Rangers, and original Pink Ranger, Amy Jo Johnson, writing new comic book series. It's my version. After raising $250,000 in less than 24 hours on Kickstarter, Power Rangers, a 30th anniversary comic book celebration, Johnson will write a brand new Power Rangers comic book series with publisher Boom Studios. She recalls coming before the pandemic hit in 2020. I was daydreaming about it and mentioned it to my boyfriend, Matt. He said, why don't you try to write it as a comic book? Johnson tells Variety, we had all the time on our hands, so we daydreamed up this entire comic book series, knowing the 30th anniversary was coming.
So, like,
for the last
to it? Or,
go Power, go fund me.
Boom.
What'd you say?
With the original.
Okay. Well, good for her.
Doing it with Boom. For the last 10 years, she has turned her attention to behind the camera, writing and directing 4 short films to feature film, made her directorial debut on CW's Spider-Man and Lois.
Superman and Lois?
Superman and Lois?
Superman and Lois. Right, okay. Superman and Lois, sorry.
No, you're good.
Yeah, like for that the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers reunion that's coming up, Always and Forever or something like that. She's one of the few original Power Rangers that's still around, but she's not in it. She's
not in it. They have.
Yeah. Well, she said she just chose to. She said she had no interest in getting back in the suit again. Like she took the property, and I think too. She was also, I think she was on the fence, but then when Jason David Frank died, she was like, nah,
No.
Yeah. She's like, I'm out. Like even because from what I've seen in one of the trailers too, they honor Trini, the original Yellow Ranger, because she passed after the first season and she was replaced, so they honor her, which they never really did in any other season.
This will be interesting. Yeah.
Well, good for her. I hope it's successful.
Yeah, so she said, "Hey, I'm not going to be in the reboot. I'm going to write a comic book from my perspective.
Write a comic book from her perspective. Hopefully, it's her character. Yeah, good for her.
Yeah, I think we're probably going to end the news right there. and we'll come back tomorrow with some more new news. Anything y'all want to say to the people? Randy,
Wednesday, look out for Binge Worthy. We are talking The Swarm. So after
The
Geek,
Swarm.
The Swarm.
The Swarm.
There's actually another show out right now called The Swarm. It's
I
a
thought
different.
it was called The Swarm.
Nope, it's just
It's
Swarm.
called
Ah,
Swarm.
okay. All right, Swarm. We're after Geek Beast. Check it out.
It means something. I found out. Yeah. Anything
Yeah.
you want to say to people?
No, governors, no. Time for me to go and get me a spot tea.
I want to get a shout out to the Funk for curating our stories for us, as he does every day. Shout out to everybody in the chat. The Funk, the Nerdy Entrepreneur, Mark, and I'm gonna get a shout out to Rodney for being a great technical producer. And we'll see you all tomorrow for more GeekBeast action. Peace.
Peace.